How's it going, guys? This is Bubbleknight here, and welcome to the part 5 of the letter. So I think we're gonna stop it as I guess only one of us just suggested. So we're gonna stop and see what's going on, but I can't help but wonder what if I continue teasing. Well, I'll just do stop.
I'll stop if it makes you uncomfortable, sweetie.
Sorry.
No, I should be the one apologizing. Why, you're a shy one, aren't you, big guy?
It's not that, but...
He gestures a ring on my finger and lets the fact of the matter hang heavily between us. Being told implicitly that I'm too forward is not a common occurrence. I think I'm more stunned at the fact he's pointed out, rather than, well, being rejected. Not that anything's going to happen between us in the first place. It was just going to be some harmless flirting, right?
So, you've never had a girlfriend?
No. No boyfriend either. You know, just in case you were gonna ask for that one next.
And you haven't even had your first kiss?
Not a one, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to have your first kiss today?
I can't help it. I really can't, and I'm going to apologize lots later. Surely, by the catty smile on my face, it's obvious that I'm just pulling his leg. The laugh I failed to contain certainly gives it away, if it still isn't obvious. But still, he lights out the embarrassment, stammering and spurting objections.
You're married, and this will be extremely unprofessional.
Dude, if I don't know him, he would be a perfect example for otaku guys.
I never said I would kiss you, silly. Oh, Johans!
No, what? No. Don't call your butler. She's Hana.
The butler's gonna kiss Zachary.
That would be for the better. I don't think his husband would appreciate it if I made him kiss another man. I do not think he can hear us from here either. But it is hard to think you're not taken, Zachary. Why, whoever becomes your girlfriend will be so lucky to have you. You can cook and take wonderful photographs. Wonderful meals and wonderful memories.
I can play guitar too.
You can? Oh my, wonderful serenades as well then. Perhaps I can find a young lady who deserves a fine, strapping young gentleman like yourself.
Let's not get carried away. Besides, I gotta be going. It's getting late and I got someplace else to be.
A shame. I will be expecting you again soon, I hope. For a copy of my photographs, yes?
Of course, I'll even deliver them personally. Just, you know, don't try to make me kiss your butler when I drop by.
As fate will have it, the very moment the word leaves his mouth. So how do you pronounce his name? Johannes comes out of the house. Judging by the slight raise to his eyebrows, he has only heard the tail end of the sentence.
There shall be no kissing of any butlers under this roof, Danke.
But you are not under a roof, are you, Hansi?
To my amusement, he takes a step back, safely placing him with the threshold of the foyer on the roof of the house. And just as ever, he's quickly to turn with a sardonic reply.
I am now. As I was saying, madam, it's about time for supper. Will I be needing to set an extra place at the table?
Oh, what? No, I was just leaving, actually. So, you have a good night, Hana. And you too, Hansi.
It was nice to meet you, Zach, honey. You have a safe trip.
He nods and grins on his face, as well say our goodbyes. It is the sweetest that I have ever seen. I linger, looking out for him with his relative tiny bicycle, backpack safely secured in a basket by the front, and suitcase hooked to the back. I watch as I went down the path to the insolent village, until he's nothing more than a blimp in the horizon. I cannot help but a small smile on my face as I go inside for supper. Oh boy, something's gonna happen, huh? Entering the dining hall caused me so much confusion. It's dark. For a moment, I thought the electric work is not up to par. But clearly that's not the case, as every other room is bright with artificial light. Finding the light switch is a monumental task considering the size of my unfamiliarity with the room. To make matters worse, the darkness granted the room a different atmosphere, eerie and frightening. It takes longer than I thought to find the switch, something that will have to be rectified later on. My skin started to prickle, and there's distinct feeling of being watched. It unsettles me. It only spurs me on my search. And when I do open the lights, there's a hiss.
I'll turn the lights down, woman.
What the heck is he drinking? There, at the end of the hall, is my beloved husband with his face on in one hand and a glass in the other. Perhaps I can let it go if it's only one glass of wine. However, I can feel myself go livid after seeing the toxic green liquid gleaming mocking at me.
Luke, what? Are you drinking absinthe?
What the crap?
You know what the doctor said. Absinthe, Luke. Are you actively trying to kill yourself? Because if you are, we can just hit you with a bloody car.
Honeybee, Buttercup, not too loud, please. Besides, it's Lelouch, not too strong. Just hair of the dog that bit me. Helps with the hangover, dearest.
You drank? When?
This morning, love. Don't be mad.
What?
I just needed a few drinks, having to deal with those simpletons.
Dude, he's clearly
And
need
maybe
help.
I had one too much. You don't see me whinging about you leaving me to handle them on my own.
I had to attend the photo shoot and interview with Luxury Living. You know that. Let's not make this about me, Luke. This is about you and your drinking problem and...
Oh, I don't know, Hannah, darling. What if my drinking problem, as you like to call it, is linked to you?
Oh, that just not called for.
If we think about it that way, this discussion is about you. That was pretty mean of you, leaving me alone to do all the work like that. You can't use the interview as an excuse either, honey. I was informed the moment your little interview was done. So, what was it then, What were you doing?
I was with Zachary. Better not to tell lies in this case, right?
I was talking with Zachary, the photographer for Luxury Living.
I have no reason to tell lies. It's not like I'm guilty of anything. But as Luke's expression turns, he makes me feel I'm actually aimed to blame for something. He has a way of making me lay bare with just a look. That had really struck me when we first met years ago.
That giant Negro?
What?
You were having a secret meeting behind my back and it was with him?
What are you implying?
I'm implying nothing. I'm just worried. You know better than to trust those media types, Buttercup. He must have been really friendly to occupy your time like that. But all he's looking for is his next big headline.
He's a photographer for an interior design magazine.
Doesn't matter. You let one little thing slip, one wrong move, and it'll blow up in the telly in the morning.
Oh man, that makes me wonder. What if I choose to flirt with him? Would this change anything?
He'll go to his journalist friends to gossip and make a quick quid.
His eyes were the first thing I noticed about him. They were like nature, the grass and trees, wonderful and breathtaking. Now as I look at him, they're nothing but the same shade of green as as the bloody damn drink in his hand.
He was a perfect gentleman, Luke. I can't say the same for you as of recent.
Excuse me again? We're talking about you, Hannah.
No, I am pretty sure we were talking about you and your drinking problem, Luke, Wright.
Hangover forgotten during the course of a little spat. The man jumps on his feet and sees. It looks like he's barely stopping himself from throwing the nearest thing he can find.
Oh, it is not a problem. I can stop whenever I want. And even if it was, I think you can very well stay out of it, as it only affects my own kidneys or liver or whatever the bloody hell that shite pollutes. Whatever aftermath that occurs because of your little chit-chat with the Negro affects the both of us, however.
Look, Luke, nothing will happen. You have to relax. It was just a friendly chat.
Well, now I think I'm getting jealous. Or I would be if it weren't for this damn headache.
Maybe you should drink more.
Maybe.
Supper is spent in silence with nothing but occasional sound of silverware. Grand feast has been served. Well, grander than usual anyway, most likely due to Luke's complaint of stress. What the heck is that? A platter of native oyster for starters, and a trenching of turbot with purple sprouting broccoli, lemon, capers, and anchovy sauce for mains. That looks delicious. To finish off, black tea with golden syrup sponge pudding with custard. But when our appetite are appeased and the plates are cleared away, Luke stands, kisses me goodnight, and leaves me to stare at my half-empty cup. Lonely in the lull of light, I sat in a house too big and too empty, foreign and unwelcoming. Even with welcome tone and home decor, it feels cold. There's no need for tears, however. I know I can get through this like every other obstacle I have ever faced before. There's a minor setback in what I hope will be a long and happy life. To remind myself that this place for Luke and for our future children fills me with a renewed vigor. Besides, it looks like someone's having a cry already. The wailing is far away and muffled, yet at the same time, it shakes me to my very core as I hear it, as if suffering is just standing right beside me. Hearing it sends a chill down my spine and makes my skin prickle with goosebumps. Who is that? Oh shit! No! Rule number 1, don't be alone by yourself when you hear these cries. Whenever that thing happens, get a radio and play your music as loud as possible while having, garlic across from, hanging around you with a cross saying, "Get the hell out of here!" Into the wine cellar hatch.
Hello? Is anybody down there?
I'm curious and concerned, but there's no way I'm going down in the dark, humid underground. Good choice. Good choice. I'm not enthusiastic as Luke, who considers himself quite a connoisseur. However, I cannot bring myself to go to bed with this racket going on. If it's one of the household help, they will surely need some talking. After all, this wouldn't be the first time I've gone and found one of the maids sobbing their eyes out over one thing with another. As professional as the staff they are, they're still human. More often than not, it was either Johannes or I would calm them down, who helped them figure out how to go on about things. Unfortunately, I'm not in high spirits right now, so I'm not wholly benevolent. I will not open the hatch. Damn it! I knocked 3 times, waiting for any sort of reply to the yell result, and I already touched the floor hatch far too many times than what I like. I take a deep breath before reaching out again to whoever is inside. I've learned from experience that people respond better to kindness than with threats. Shouting angrily would not help with coaxing them out.
You in the cellar? Do come out. We don't want Luke waking up and finding you in there, do we? That man would go ballistic thinking someone was trying to steal his precious wine.
Still nothing.
You can have a good cry. Just not in there, yes? Why don't you come out here and we can have a cuppa and you can tell me all about whatever it is you're bawling about?
Oh boy. With how long I'm standing here, however, I'm starting to think myself as a fool. I did not want to acknowledge the other feeling I have, especially as the wailing took an eerie turn. The thought of being played didn't sit too well with me, and I had to stop myself from getting too hot-headed as I tried one more time.
Now you come out of there! That is an order from the lady of the house, do you hear me? Why, Iota?
I freeze as a hand climbs down my shoulder. Oh shit! The dread I've been feeling all this time make itself known as I kneel. I'm moving, not even dare to breathe. I can feel my heart pounding against my chest, but the touch is gone as quickly it has seized me. It is only Johannes when I see when I look back. Whew! So I might want to be dead. Okay, hold on.
Apologies, madam, for touching you like that. You were not responding to my voice, and you looked about ready to wake the whole mansion up.
I was... I'm sorry. I was getting rather loud, wasn't I? But that crying woman in there, we must do something about her.
He grows silent for a moment and just looks concerned. At least I'd like to interpret as concern, given how stoic our head butler usually is. Or rather, it must have been concerned as he takes out a glove and presses the back of his hand on my forehead before his worrisome inquiry.
I beg your pardon. What crying woman? Are you feeling well, madam?
In the cellar. Can't you hear her?
Madam Hannah, no one is down there.
What?
The cellar is locked. Only Luke and I have duplicates of the keys. Nobody is down there.
I stare at him in disbelief, but when I listen one more, I hear no crying. Tug at the hatch for good measure and prove his words to be true too. The thing won't budge unless I had a key. Sure, using power tools.
Perhaps it is time for you to go to bed, madam. You are simply tired and hearing things, a perfectly normal human experience. But if you are still experiencing auditory hallucinations in the morning, you are free to consult with me.
There's a cold feeling in the pit of my stomach as he helped me out to my feet. What he says makes sense, and who am I to question someone who used to be a doctor? I'm just tired. That's it. A long day of moving, the interview, dealing with Luke, all that strained me of any proper sense.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I just need some sleep, that's all.
Of course I'm right. Go on then. Gute Nacht.
Good night, Johannes. Good night, house.
Good night, house! Alright, it's just fatigue. That's what I kept telling myself. Although I can't ignore the strange feeling in my gut. Either there's something wrong with the house, or there's something wrong with my head. Sleeping will be elusive tonight. Alright, so let me check the branching tree here, see if I almost died. So I am over here. I could go over here, call them out. Oh shit! I could have gone down, huh? Would you like to see what if I went down? I mean, that gets me really curious. So I think I'm gonna load. Shit! I better not be dead. I may not be going down, but there's no point talking through closed doors. We'll hatch in this case. The first... Okay, oh my god, if it's swing free, so it's not locked at all. As I lifted out the hatch and looked down to the cellar, a sense of uneasiness washed over me. Oh shit. Yes, it's just sudden onset of vertigo and nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating. As I look down, it feels as it's looking back at me. I worry something will suddenly pull me back to the deep. I can hear her whisper, "Help me," calling for me. She wants me, needs me. She wants to drown me, pull me down, suffocate me in her embrace until I sink to the bottom. A deep abyss awaits, inviting yet full body. She's calling for me. Okay. I do want to help, I do, but the shadows threaten to creep out and the feeling of apprehension keeps in place. Already, it paints the room with a dark light. There's a lurching sensation, a feeling it follows is hard to explain. Feels like watching myself from the inside lines, a spectator of my action or lack of thereof. Willing to stand myself out, detaching feeling, to move, to do anything except to stare at myself. And for the moment I see a look of fear in my own face. I'm back in my body, but the hook in my stomach is longer than only one. There are hooks everywhere. Tearing and pulling on my skin, flesh and bones. They pull me in every direction. It hurts. It hurts so much I can't bring myself to scream out.
Help me.
What? What? Oh shit! Oh no! What the hell's going on? Oh no, you're not getting me! I wake from a deep slumber. Takes me out of a fog. Made you look around. My bedroom already. I do not look what's going on. Doesn't matter. Safe now. I feel better than ever. Tomorrow, better days will come. Oh wow, so what if you actually got killed? Guys, I am going back there. Shit. Alright, we're gonna skip this. So I'm actually try to fail and see what's going on. Deeper and deeper, I drown. What? That's just... Okay, so we know what's going on. There's nothing special about that. Let's just go through the story. Yes? There isn't a single highway hair to him to be found. Trying to call him on his mobile is just a burst, as it only lays straight to his voicemail. That's twice in a row he's gone on me. And for him to disappear today, of all days, it's every bit upsetting because of what's to come. The morning again is once filled with a whirl of activity. Unfortunately, I am much more refreshed as I took a break from my responsibilities. I haven't the faintest clue where Luke was yesterday. Today's gonna be a busy day, although unlike Wednesday, the master of the house isn't here right now, absent once more from his duties. Hopefully he will be back for time for party. This is our house after all. A grand housewarming party for the wonderful Wright Mansion. Every person of importance from Luxembourg is invited, and there will be a few guests flying in as well. Of course, there will be some people from the media, along with friends and acquaintances who are made no less important, regardless of their status in society. Mary Ann and I discussed business and last-minute touch-up to the house before finalizing everything. Not that there's much to change from the original plans. Bar in any huge addition to the property itself, the mansion is nearly 100% complete.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Well, I can't take all of the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the Wright Mansion. There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Luca and I had a small tiff about making the second bedroom into child's playroom, which I insist is completely practical. At the end, he had I don't know that word. I didn't give any choice in the matter. I even brought this wonderful wood crib from the antique store yesterday, including some toys. Just some in case anyone brings their babies, of course. Besides, we have little needs for actual guest room. We hardly have guests who spend the night. If we absolutely have to, we often choose the footbill for their visiting of one-hour hotel instead, always at Luke's own insistence. And on the off chance that we actually let someone stay, the bedroom in the opposite wing is still up to the task.
Oh no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
No, I did not agree to him having a helipad.
All right, then.
Helicopter!
Well, do we have any other concerns? Anything we need to put on our agenda before the party commences?
No, I don't think so. Not unless Luke has anything else to say.
Is he around then? It'd be best if we can note down his request right away, considering the scope of his usual ones.
Around? No. Where is he? Who knows where? I don't.
No, he's not around.
She didn't have to point out the obvious now, did she? After 7 long years, I've already gotten used to him. I should be by now. Still not, apparently.
But don't you have a party?
I want nothing more than to complain, to whine about how unfair this is. However, airing out one's dirty laundry is simply tattoo among high society. To do so will make you a ripe target for their next dinner party chit-chat. Vultures, the lots of them, really. Or most of them, at least. There'll be always good one like Rochelle Lee. But put your trust in the wrong person and you'll find yourself eagerly picked apart.
Yes, but Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
Perhaps I'm being a bit too harsh, a bit too hot-headed, and divulging details. But I thought myself clever with a plan to dress it up as a gossip. Mary Ann raises bell and makes him to make me unsure whether she is interested or not. Although that does not make things better if she has no interest, and therefore has no hidden intent to utilize whatever I might say to her.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit how do they say it? A rough patch. His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband, but it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark. What do you think?
You were asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am? Do you want me to be honest, or...
Be honest. I am an honest person.
Be honest with me, Marianne. I don't need someone to sugarcoat it. I'm not some fragile thing that I'm just going to break down at the slightest thing.
She hesitates, taking a sip of coffee while I stare into my own cup of tea. The silence stretches on. I almost believe that she will never answer my question. I suppose I shouldn't blame her, putting her in a tight spot like this. Her hesitation is understandable, though I loathe to admit it. She simply wants this whole thing to stay professional. Really? See, you gain more trust. You gain more relationship status. How about that? But then she speaks.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
It's my turn to hesitate now. I really didn't expect such a straightforward question. And to get to the heart of the matter, I suppose I'm not clever as I'd like to think. Or is it really bad that outside you can see our little marital troubles? Surely we aren't that obvious, are we? We have put on an act of perfect couple for years. Although it hadn't always been an act, Marianne is just more keen than the average person, of course. It's a necessity to her career, and she's been working so close with us. Yes, that's
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle.
Huh.
But if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else. Someone who won't even give him the time of the day. Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone. That's just my 2 pence worth, of course.
So you're saying they should divorce?
Oh shit.
Nothing as drastic as that. If they're afraid that it might lead to just that, then maybe that is what's meant to happen in the first place. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives. But it's just a short hiatus is all. Or, couples therapy? Look, I'm really not the best person to ask about relationships, so grain of salt and all that.
She trails off, having said her piece. It leaves nothing but the smell of coffee and Earl Grey between us. There's a calm despite the nature of what has just been discussed. To say that her words make me start to think this is an understatement. To think I'm not considering her advice is a lie. And to say that there might just be the calm before the storm is a possibility. Others might have other short marriages, of course, but plenty have celebrated long and happy ones as well. My own parents celebrated their choral anniversary before they passed away. But 7 years? 7 years is a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. It is a whole lot of time to see what and where a relationship can bring us. At the same time, 7 years, well, it hasn't been entirely made up on happy years, has it? It won't last forever. It's not supposed to anyways. I just dread the thought that it might last for a very long time. I dread the thought that these small parts, these little disagreements will turn to an all-out resentment. The idea that we will grow to hate each other with every fiber of our being scares me. I can't even pinpoint the exact moment when our blissful union turned sour. Really, we can get through this, right? But I still know I know that I still love him, and I feel that there's a part of him that still loves me in return. We just need to get our heads together and talk it out. Surely he will see some sense. There's a cough before Marianne cleared her throat. I must have been quiet for so long, and I moved to apologize when she stands up. We both end up on our feet, unsure how to proceed. Some sort of odd, awkward shuffles occur as we decide whether to sit back down or not.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies. Busy, busy, busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
The scene outside parlor is great. Organized mess. Aside from our own household help, we hired the service of a temp agency which provides staff for the Wright enterprise in the hospitality sector. Even our very skilled staff cannot undertake a party of this size on their own. Waiters, busboys, hostess, and their staff captains move about in droves, carrying crockeries and silverware good for several dozen people and then some. Chefs and bartenders tail after Johannes, looking like scared little children as he escorts them throughout the kitchen into the wine cellar to pursue the stocks, just like what can be served at a party and what can be used for cooking.
Schnell! We have a lot to do, and I believe we did not hire snails. Snails are for the dishes.
A string of quartet raised up for playing for the evening, turning the instrument as they filled the air with idle chatter. Flower decor worth thousand vases, rich or ras in baskets, while the petals are scattered along the driveway up front. Wow! Ice sculpture! An ice sculpture of reindeers brought in carefully by the pair. It is followed by a simple cake and just 5-tier white chiffon, one with white chocolate mousse, fresh berries, and a light dusting edible gold leaves. Are those really made of gold? But despite the fact I told Marianne how I attend to all of this, I find myself unable to focus care of any of it. I still have a discussion running in my mind, and looking at all this, I only see Luke everywhere. These are the grand things that Luke wanted to have for the party. Ah, poor her. I had wanted a small, elegant but simple gathering, with only select few invited, namely the people I would actually trust to enter my home. I did not want any bloody politicians or paparazzi in here, no matter how I'm used to I am to catering them.
At least be here for your party. Damn it, Luke.
No, I actually feel really sorry for Hannah. The entire thing screamed Luke Wright. I can't help but add another question to my growing list of queries. When did I lose myself? It's always about him nowadays, isn't it? What about Hannah Wright? What about Hannah Evans? I assume my own woman who made up her own name, her own career, and her own decisions. Okay, this is tough. So I had to say something to like the ladies. Just because you're married, like, you know, I have a wife, I'm married, right? You shouldn't. Of course, you have to be a wife, but don't forget yourself, like how you used to be. You know, like you shouldn't. I know you sacrifice things to be like the wife you're supposed to be for the house, but don't ever lose yourself. That's the advice I give to like girls or woman marriage. So not that I'm trying to like preach or anything, but that's how I feel like you guys should be to, you know, feel, I guess, happy. Sure, I was already the social butterfly that I'm still today, but it wasn't all empty, shallow, gossiping, and sitting pretty. I was also loathed for my knowledge and talent. Finance manager wasn't handed to me. It just because my father owned the company. I insisted I start at the bottom so I can work my way to the top and prove myself. And I did. I worked numbers, managed budgets, money, accounts, analyzing the composition. Is that a misspelling? And market trends. There's also calculation of financial risk, cost reduction, opportunity, auditor liaisons, and public relationships, supervision and of staff, and well, I generally had a huge slew of responsibilities. Admittedly, I was already quite an attention seeker even back then, having dedicated most of my youth craving for my parents' approval. Feeling that, I turned to others. I looked praise from anyone who would give it. However, fleeing it was. Yeah. And Luke, the way he looked at me, the way he watched me took a genuine interest. He had me disgustingly obsessed since day one, hasn't he? He saw me for me, Hannah Evans, with both my faults and my achievements. The man didn't treat me as like some damsel in distress or some prize to be won. I remember the night the Wright were married, where we talked about everything and anything, from big things like business, society, and philosophy, to little things as much as what we had for breakfast or whether we like cats or dogs or more. We both prefer dogs. Nowadays, I'm just Luke, Wright's wife. It's mostly my fault, isn't it? No! They told me the husband preferred wives to a docile and subordinate. No! I actually prefer my wife and my or my previous girlfriends to be like have their own character. You know, as you don't. Sure, you have to change because your status changed, but don't ever lose yourself. A woman who will always be there for him, yet never outshine him in all aspects except beauty. A wife. God, I'm going on with this. I actually don't mind if my wife earns more than me, alright? A wife needs to be at home and tend to his needs. We have children and to take care of them in his absence. No. They say I have no business working anymore after I was married. I can blame society, but I listened. Before I can fall further into introspective, pity, self-loathing, someone calls to my attention.
The guests have arrived, madam.
And Luke?
Running a bit late, I'm afraid.
Late for his own party. That man, I swear. He's probably looking to make a dramatic entrance, knowing him. Open the doors, then. We mustn't tarry.
Cars line up the driveway, pepping up the front mansion with vehicles of every kind. Grand Tour, supercars, even the old high-end muscle car or two. Convertibles, grand saloons, and other luxury cars can be seen being parked by valets. A handful of cab drives off, possibly for those who thought it was too troublesome to bring their own cars. There are at least 2 different media vans as well. They're all here for what they consider to be the biggest event of the year for Luxembourg. So far. Who knows what we plan for the winter holidays?
Welcome everyone. Please make yourselves at home.
Some of the guests idle, enjoying the warm, if not strange sunshine we are experiencing before the gloomy sky inevitably returns. They greet acquaintances and friends with warm smiles, others less so. From where I stand, I can see the hierarchy of power and ties that bind these individuals here, whether through convenience or necessity. However, there are also a few who are not here to further cement their current place in high society. Oh, him! I saw the young man with oriental hair. Ignorance of the looks that he received from the woman and men alike.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Man from the Orient. Oh, well, that rose-haired woman talked on the phone while she looks unsure why she's here exactly.
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom. Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
I see Zachary, the photographer, as well. He talked to a few other media crew with an air of familiarity.
I was just here a few days ago, yeah. And the inside is huge, but the staff are pretty helpful if you get lost.
And then there are people like Chef and Inspector. People who I can never be too sure about. People who stand on a border between being suspicious and being trustworthy. He has got that look.
Thank you for the invite, Anna. Husband still missing, I see?
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors again?
She told me she'll just be in the gardens. Bet she's lying and that she's somewhere around mingling, gossiping with the other ladies. It's no offense, but that seems to be all you ladies do at these parties.
And aren't you gossiping right now?
Yes, well, what about Luke? Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
He's around.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing. Don't tell me, let me guess. He's finally drunken himself to death and not wanting a scandal, you've hidden his body.
Oh shit! That could actually be true! Luke might be dead actually.
I was wanting to give this housewarming gift to him personally too. It's a plate that holds a wine glass so he can stop killing himself with liquid lunches. Looks like it's too late for that.
Nothing like that. Besides, this is a hardly polite conversation.
Oh, relax. I'm just trying to be cheeky to lighten the mood. It's not like I want Luke dead. The man doesn't serve dodgy plonk like the others when I visit, and he pays his respects well enough. I could use a glass of wine or 3, actually. Rochelle's been in a horrid mood. Threw her stilettos at me the other day and almost took an eye out.
Wow.
Not sure if this is how it usually goes, but I blame the pregnancy.
Oh, that explains it, yes.
I wouldn't know, would I?
Still no plans for a baby? Well, I guess that's for the best. If it's this bad now, I can't even imagine how bad it'll be when that little baby bump becomes huge.
Have I mentioned how I don't trust him no matter how hard I try to do so? At least he brought a gift, I suppose.
Why don't you just go inside and have some wine, Lee?
Think I will, thanks.
Greeting such these carries on as the guests continue to trickle in. Whether we have short conversation or merely shake hands and nod heads, I made sure to attend and welcome each of them. At first hour passes by, the rest of the stragglers and I adjourn to the ballroom. Any latecomer will have to attention of the porter instead. I have other duties to attend now. Hosting parties is always the same old song and dance, no matter how big or small it is. You make sure the guests are well fed, have good company, and have generally enjoying themselves. When my opening remarks are done, when the band has started playing, the guests are started eating, I find myself wandering around aimlessly unless I'm pulled aside. For a while I stay with a small group and entertain them before I excuse myself, and when they're not anymore don't want anyone watch me, I end up watching them. When they don't listen, I do. A local banker is having trouble with his daughter. He wishes to marry her off, but she wants nothing more but to make music. One of our hotel managers worried about the stolen belongings of one of his patrons. A feeling of security should be brought up to higher authority soon. Our mayor, well, his cat died. Then there's rose-haired woman once again. It's not hard to notice her with her distinctive looks. She is also lack of grace than other ladies have, though that does not make her any less beautiful. Her stance in the air exudes her. Instead are strong and make her stand out despite her casual attire. Many men are already giving her their attention, though each invitation to dance has been turned down. I approach, intrigued, although it's no great mystery what occupies her own attention. With a glance, she keeps sending towards the boy with the oriental hair. She remains unaware, though, even as I stand beside her, pretending that I'm just there for a drink.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Oh, you're fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenus, those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up. Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
Oh, him. So she likes him, huh? The boy comes over, but nothing to speak any softer. He immediately spices by, and the wonder he doesn't notice. He doesn't hear what I say.
Who, Ash?
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down those offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash. That's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this time. I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other. Is he your boyfriend then? Because that would explain those rejections.
Oh boy! In all my life, I've never seen a face grew red so fast. The shade of their red hair did not help as well. It's the most pink I've seen in a person, really.
What? No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed. Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
That's right. You've been staring. Quite heatedly, in fact. Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
It's more the latter currently.
Just don't go murdering him on my property. I don't want to walk into a room and suddenly find a body there.
I wave as I feel the burning of someone's stairs. It's chilling though. I'm used to the dear glaze of others, but this one makes the hair on the back of my neck stands up. Oh boy, it's you again! Why is she always popping up when she's not invited? My attention is pulled from the girl when I see the woman staring. Dark hair and dirty, she looks more like a beggar than a guest, and I have half the mind to call the security at her when her mouth breaks out in a grin. You do not scare me! Taunting. Her stare makes my blood run cold. She looks at me and nothing but a pig slaughter for her amusement. It makes my hand shake as I nearly drop my drink. But then, a blink, she's gone. The fuzz of the party returns.
I'll keep that in mind, but are you alright?
Yes, sorry. I just thought I saw something strange. It must be the trick of the light. Anyway, on a right, as you must already know.
Rebecca Gales.
Gales.
The name familiar like a fond memory. I recall a kind lady, private tutor who treated me like her own daughter when I was young. She even bring me food when there's no need to do so. Usually Sylvie's, but I honestly haven't been too keen about it, though I ate them nonetheless because she brought them for me.
Oh, the professor! And your little Becky!
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way. But yeah, that's me. Little Becky. We met once before.
Yes, oh, I remember you! You were the cutest little thing with glasses! And when we met, you were having boy troubles with this lad called something with an A. What was it again? Aaron, Alan, Adele, Albert, Alexander, Andrew?
The more I list off names, the more rated and more quiet Becky gets. She's starting to look a bit miserable as her body language shows discomfort and stiffness. Perhaps I've triggered a horrid childhood memory. Surely you haven't been mean when she visited with her mother? I don't quite remember all of it.
Ashton! Ash! That man is that boy! The same one. Oh, goodness me, after all these years! I can see why, though. He's quite dashing.
You don't really need to announce it to everyone within earshot, you know? Keep it down.
I'm so sorry, but it really is cute.
And a tad bit sad.
This is a nice party, Miss Wright.
Please, Anna's fine. We're friends of a sort, aren't we? We must be friends, seeing as I know about your little infatuation, Becky. Don't you worry, dearie. You'll have your happy ending yet.
I'm not too concerned about that, am I? That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh? And what makes you think that? Doesn't everybody want their happy ending?
The idea of happy endings sounds like they're just for fairy tales. And they are, sorta. I don't think you can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best. If you love them, you have to fight for it, right? You're not just going to sit there and hope that everything will just fix itself on its own. Like everything, you have to work at it. But what do I know?
There's a grimace, although she started to relax around my presence. How long has it been since we met as a children? Certainly a long time. She was tiny back then, if I recall correctly.
I'm sure the daughter of the two greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about. But have you told him how you feel? And it's been what? 20 years?
17, actually. But no, not yet. He can be a bit dense. I was hoping that maybe he'd notice on his own and...
Well, that won't do. What if you two become husband and wife? He's not to be dense when he's sworn himself to another person. Why, you might just as well consider leaving before the day's even begun.
If that happens, I'll have to give him a good ear bashing, won't I? Whoever anyone ends up with, it's not going to be a perfect relationship anyway. There's going to be things you'll love and things you'll hate about the other person. We're just humans. It's funny. Here I am, trying to give you advice when you did the very same thing back then. I remember you giving me a makeover when we were still kids. And you were the first I told anyone about my... crush.
I do remember how she mentions it. Did I give her that yellow summer dress with a pink blouse and a petite coat? She must kept some of what I said in mind. It feels ridiculous remembering all those years later, talking to the boys how they go crazy with pretty girls, as if some gospel every woman should have adhered to. It was so easy to them say such things, that with me not knowing any better. Though, looking at her now, she must have kept some of what I said in mind. Perhaps I did something good at the time, enough for her to take to her heart, but that all didn't matter as the moment I emerged over what she just said in my head. What Becky told me is very different from what Marianne told me. There is no time to ponder over that. However, as hush descends upon the once lovely crowd, the music, string, and chatter slow to the grind halls as the door open from the foyer opens. The last of the latecomers should have arrived moments ago, and anyone else who lay simply was too embarrassed to show their face. So this can be only one person, or rather one man. There's only one man who's audacious enough to arrive at his own party so late.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party? I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the Wright Mansion.
Unlike I was raised to the spotlight and grew simply using his presence, he thought it out every chance he could, even though there's no spotlight and that's shown. And I'll never put it against him when he smiles like that. He did so quite brilliantly under scrutiny when he channels his showmanship. You can tell by the way people's eyes light up as he speaks, however, how they listen, enraptured, even if all he's doing is simple greeting. A little wave of his hands here, and a smile there, and a bit of swagger. I always tell him that if he's not to be a businessman, he'll do well as an entertainer. I love this side of him. Especially when he looks at me, he beckons me to go humble share his place. Not a single session wasted as I excuse myself from Becky's side and make my way to Luke's.
Welcome one and all to our humble abode.
Humble abode? That's a series I never finished.
Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness. So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
There's a round of applause, cheers, and even some hoots. Guests approach us left and right to shake Luke's hand and greet him personally, praising on their lips. Is it because that I do not see her? I do not see her until she's dangerous close, with the fury eyes and she's ready to spit venom? What? Johanna strains her, taking care not to calm the pregnant woman. What the crap? Is that Rochelle? But that's not. It will deter her rage, and the man has no choice but to let her go. Lest the unborn child is hurt. Although it might be too late for that, and I've seen empty glass and wine in her hand. How much is embedded in?
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle? Perhaps you need to sit down and...
No! Shut it, you munter! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here! You bloody bastard standing there with your smarmy smile!
She interrupts me, jacking her finger in my direction before she rounds on Luke. Even as whisper murmurs break out among the guests, I can focus as the heat of the moment. He of the moment, obviously intoxicated, judging by the smell of alcohol on her breath. I'm not tickled off about this display of her, at least not yet, but I'm absolutely pissed at the fact she endangered her own baby by drinking. There's a considerable amount of strain in the grace I must exercise before I wait for her tantrum to subside. I keep a patient if tight smile on my face. Luke's expression on the other hand is indecipherable.
Watch your tongue! You're on thin ice, Rochelle. Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
I did.
And I told you with great emphasis not to. Now we have a drunk, hormonal, pregnant woman causing a stir. What is even going on?
I'm just about to ask the same exact thing.
I don't know. But Rochelle, do calm down before you hurt yourself. I can't understand a word you're saying.
Where is that husband of yours?
Oh boy.
Lee! Collect your wife right now!
Don't you fucking talk like I'm not here and you're not responsible, you ass! You told me that I should wait for you in the gardens!
Oh no! Is that her affair?
Excuse me. What is this nonsense you're going on about?
Crazy talk! That's all it is! Just completely and utterly mad! Has anyone seen the Chief Inspector?
I am pregnant with your little bastard.
Oh
you
no!
Promised me you'll take responsibility. God damn it, Luke. I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me.
What?
What do you mean you're pregnant with? Luke, is this true?
Lies and slander, woman! Security! Johans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
No, you do not do this to me. I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours. Look at her. Does she look like she wants a baby? Does she look like she could take care of a baby?
Oh shit. Now that Johanna's returned with security along with the concerned-looking Officer Lee, to surround her move to escort a hysterical woman. Judging by his pale face, he has heard the whole thing. I feel nothing but pity for the man.
I'm so sorry for her behavior. She's been under a lot of stress. And the alcohol. Talking nonsense, that's all it is. You're not allowed to drink because of the baby, Shelley. What are you thinking?
Nothing to see here, people. Move along.
There's really nothing to see but rambling of a drunk? Yes, that's right. There's no way that Rochelle's saying is true. What she says doesn't match up. I know, Luke. If such a scandalous meeting to be arranged, he wouldn't do in such an exposed place, especially not near his precious flowers. And he definitely won't promise responsibility over a child unless it can be helped. Besides, Luke will never go as far as sleep with another woman, right? Okay, fine, who am I kidding? If I'm to completely honest with myself, he might cheat. With a bit of temptation and a bit of alcohol, he just might. And that doesn't mean that just make up my blood boil. Do you even think of slightest possibility of infidelity? Lee isn't too far off when he told me how Luke still acts some young hotshot bachelor. Oh great, okay, cool. Oh no. Ah shit. Alright, good time to take a break. Alright, I'm gonna let you guys decide. Seems like only one guy's I forgot what's your name. I have to go back and look at your name. It's decide how I'm choosing these. So I'll leave it up to you guys choose. I'm tempted to choose the happy ending, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out guys. Thank you.